Oh yeah, I got back like later than planned last night. My transportation back was delayed at the airport. There was a flight he was picking up people from, and it got delayed because there was so much fog. So it just circled around the airport until it could land. So my pickup time was originally 5, and I didn't get back till didn't get picked up till about 7:15. But it was nice. I was so glad I stayed at the Comfort Inn because they let me as a guest previously. I was allowed to of that day. They gave me a cup of tea and I sat in the lobby waiting for my transportation because I had stored my suitcase there while I was in class. Oh, it was really great. Class was fantastic. I was really worried. Again, one of my issues is I'm going to be 29 in June. And it's scary to be starting this, I hadn't been in school for a long time. Haven't been trying, odd jobs for now jobs, Nothing, with permanence. I had worked at the museum over a year, the railway museum, but not, still, a volunteer and only, I don't have any training. It was scary, but being there, there was, maybe 5 people around my age. The rest were older, ones, that had, just started wanting to get the training, so it really relieved me, especially the course material. It was stuff that made sense, and there's stuff I want to talk to the board of directors about because I have some ideas. And yeah, so it really helped. I feel so much better. I felt the travel and going there for training. I felt like that's where I should be. So yeah, it was really good. But I did fall asleep a bit in the morning, second day, because I don't know what happened. I was right on bushy-tailed, especially since I slept longer than planned. And I got there, and for first bit in the morning, I was, there and present. And then a little bit before lunch, I just, suddenly felt freezing cold. And started falling asleep. So I missed luckily, it was a section that, most of it was just one of the other classmates giving a anecdote. So I asked about that after at lunchtime, and then lunchtime after lunch I was just fine. But it was just the sudden, it felt like if I take a painkiller or such, that, just the sudden hit, or a Benadryl or something. That there was no I wasn't oh, I feel tired. It was just sudden. And so I figured out, and when I went outside, I was really quite filled up. So I thought, oh no, I'm getting sick. Because my partner, for 2 of the assignments, was quite sick. She had quite a bit of coughing and sneezing, and she was worried she was getting pneumonia. So I thought, yep, I've been out in the cold and the damp. It was only about 3 degrees when I was walking around in the pouring rain. 3 degrees Celsius. And I figured, oh no, that plus this is just I'll be sick. And, but no, just fine after that. I don't know what hit me. It was I apologized to the instructor. But yeah, no, we covered a lot of stuff I want to bring up to, the directors. And, yeah, so I got forgotten about by the taxi. After my video I made waiting for the taxi, I ended up waiting about 15 minutes more. And I called and was well, where, are you? It's been over 45 minutes. The dispatch forgot to tell the driver that was on duty around my area that I had called a cab. So I had to wait about 15 more minutes. By then I was waterlogged in the rain. I didn't want to open my umbrella because I figured, oh, he arrived right as I had it opened. But if I had known that it's going to be a bit later, I would have just went inside. But no. So I got forgotten boat and I got to the Comfort Inn. My driver, I traveled with Annapolis Valley Travel, and it was excellent. Because I've previously driven them before. The driver before we worked for a different alternate transportation company. So it was good. Also found out at the end of class where the next course is, and also that they were opening registration Monday, which made me panic because I'm like, well, I wouldn't have went out to eat at Rutter's if I had known, that registration was going to open. I would have saved the money. Because it's going up $25 because there's cuts to the culture fund and whatnot. So it's going to cost more from them to offer the training, so they up the price. I found out it's in Port Gravel at the Museum of the Age of Sail, or whatever it's called, which is a long trek. It's going to be about 330 kilometers is what I checked on my in Google Maps. But Annapolis Valley Travel said they could pencil me in and they'd get back to me with a quote on how much it would cost, but they didn't have anything booked so they could do it. So I'd rather travel with them. Yeah, so I'll find out how much that is. I managed to borrow enough extra to cover the registration because I brought back $40. $45. But my monthly bank fee came out, so I ended up losing 10 of that. But yeah, I brought back, so I had to borrow the rest of the chunk for the registration on Monday. So I'll put that in either tomorrow or early Monday. I'd rather do it tomorrow so I don't have to, once that opens in the morning, I can just go, register right away, because they expect it to fill up really fast, because a lot of the people that took this course, there was 18 that showed up, even though it was fully booked, so there's 2 that didn't show up. They expect it to, that almost everyone's going to take the next course, and so it's going to fill up fast, because there's only going to be 2, if maybe a little more spaces open for everyone else. So it's at May 25th and 26th. It's going to be a bit of a crunch, because I'll have to do another financing proposal to get the travel and the hopefully get reimbursed for the cost of the registration. But again, I didn't know till they announced it at the end of the day. So yeah, it's almost on the New Brunswick border. So I'm kind of wondering if it's going to be cheaper to go get a drive to Digby and take the ferry to St. John, and travel in New Brunswick to it. So yeah, at least the third one's in Halifax. It's going to be easy because I have a Delta Delta membership, so I'll stay at the Delta and get my little later check-in time and whatnot, or earlier check-in time, later check-out time, and all that. So I'll definitely stay there, and it's easier to get to Halifax. There's lots of different services, and Annapolis Valley Travel does a frequent bit because of the airport. But yeah, having a lot of mismatched bite feeling today again. But I didn't sleep with my bite guard, and I was too. I thought when I got back last night, I was so waterlogged, and I had that rattling feeling in my chest, and I was so achy. I thought, oh no, I'm getting sick. So I stayed up later than I planned on just to get everything different stuff together, like make sure I had stuff together in case I woke up like with a fever and horribly sick. My hair's all messed up, but I haven't brushed it. So. But no, I woke up and all I was hoarse. But I don't have I don't feel like, I don't have cold chills. I'm not coughing a lot. The feeling in my chest is gone. So I think it was just too much damp and being waterlogged. So yeah, I wasn't sick, but I thought I'd wake up, horribly sick. Like I brought down, heavy hoodie and figured, I'll just hang out for a few days. Got a meeting tomorrow with my employment maintenance worker, so I'll discuss, getting the proposal and about the information on the course, like where it is and whatnot, and how I did with this one. I definitely want to continue with this. This is because there's if I can't continue at the Railway Museum, because it's not paid, I need an income, and with this training, it hopefully can lead on to an income. But there's with this training, there's places I can go. Like it's opening, like even just taking the first foundations course, it's opening up a lot. But yeah, no, the course was excellent. The classmates and the instructor, and that was excellent. The Comfort Inn was amazing. The receptionist I dealt with and whatnot, just fantastic, especially the one that worked the night shifts. Because there was a few things I needed or wanted or had questions, and it was no problem. Breakfast was good. I wish I hadn't overslept past my alarm. Like I slept through my alarm. And so I didn't, I had a waffle, I wolfed it into me, but I would have preferred to have, like bacon and more to eat. Like the waffle was huge and filling. It was just, I really was craving bacon. And yeah, so that was excellent. A to B was hit and miss. There was a lot of delay, and there was that, who's going to pay for this. There was a smoking one, but in general it was good for, because I'm used to not having taxis around areas. Like I usually only experience taxis when I'm in Halifax, so it was really excellent to have that option instead of, if I traveled, to, if there was one in New Minas or such, which is what Yarmouth reminded me of, is similar to New Minas, I would have been walking. I noticed after I was waiting at the hotel that there was a transit service around, but even that, it's not as reliable as anything like the around here. We don't have a transit for the town. It's, here, and it's every 2 hours, and it just goes straight up the line. But yeah, no, it was excellent, but there was problems. I didn't like being forgotten about by the taxi, or claiming they couldn't find me by the town taxi that I called at the end of the day. And I did not enjoy that motel. They sent me an email. I haven't read it yet. I expect it's just, it has in the subject about your recent stay, and I figured just, to ask for the cancellation fee because I can't get out of my account because my account's empty now. But no, that was really. I'm glad I got the Comfort Inn, because I figured I'd have to call a family friend and try to stay with them, but they don't live directly in Yarmouth, so it would have been more of a commute and stuff. But no, I put them on my hotel on my rejected call list, so they'll go straight to voicemail. But yeah, they're not going to be able to get money. Like, they can't get it out of a stone when there's nothing there. Because every bit I have, plus what I borrowed, is going to that course registration on Monday, and then I won't have any for like 2 weeks. So yeah. But it's like, if I don't know how, like, if they've done it with other people that have paid by credit card, like charged it, like, and then then returned it in the morning. People didn't know because it's a credit card, and they're not used to checking their balance, like on the go. But where I had, like, it was a Visa debit connected to my account, it failed because there wasn't almost $300 in that account. And like, if I had enough in it, I would have had like no money for anything else for the trip. I wouldn't have any money for taxis. Like, I had money for taxis because I took out bills and stuff, but if I'd had put that in my account and planned to withdraw it when I was down there, it would have gone through, and I wouldn't have had any money. I wouldn't have had any money for food or anything like that. Yeah, you'll reimburse me in the morning, but I'm not gonna, have anything for that night. So I'm glad my drive decided to wait for me. They figured, I'll take you to the archives, like, because it's only was going to be like 5 minutes. Like, I was just going to get checked in and store my suitcase. And I'm glad he waited, because I took my suitcase. Like, they wanted me to leave it there and then said, well, we'll deal with it in the evening. And I took it. Like, I'm like, no, I'll find somewhere else. Because I think they expected me to, try to get the money and pay it at that evening. Because I'd have nowhere to stay, no tourist, all the way there. And I'm just, fuck. Like, if I had paid in cash, like, yeah, I would have expected to have to pay the security deposit. Because, if you pay in cash, you can just leave. There's no accountability. But where I was paying by credit card, right? There should have been no need to charge the security deposit the day before. Yeah, no, they, and I even asked them, like, do you have, like, if I went and got a different type of prepaid card or whatnot, would that be fine? And they told me no, it was regardless, it was standard practice to charge the security deposit early. It's like, everywhere I have stayed, like, has not charged security deposit early unless you're paying with cash. Like, or regular debit. But nowhere else I have ever stayed has wanted to charge a card. And I've used that card for reservations before. Like, the day that when you check in. So I don't know if they do it like for a tourist thing or what. But it's like, I'm a young, like, traveling alone woman that, like, what do they expect me to do? Like, that they need to charge that security deposit when I'm paying by credit card. Like, before I even check in, before I even step foot in the room. Like, I was really put off by, especially not claiming to have not spoken with me, had no idea I was coming, couldn't find my reservation or my special information that morning. Then call me back 10 minutes later that they found it, that everything was all set. But I was put off by that, and then I was really put off when I got there, and like, tried to push breakfast on me until 8. Like, they say they start breakfast at 7. So I figured I'd get breakfast at 7:30. Like, I'd get everything ready, I'd check out, and then I'd have breakfast and I'd check out. But they tried to push it to 8, and I'm like, well, I don't really have time once class starts at 9. So they tried to push that, and they insisted that I have it at 8 instead of 7. You know, they advertised it starting at 7. And I asked, like, is it because you've changed your times? No. You'll just have plenty of time to get there if you go at 8. And then also like they advertised on the website that's quiet time after 10, which is standard with hotels. Like most hotels, it's quiet after 10. And it's like they don't want people like wandering the property after 10. But, like, yeah, that's understandable. But then when I got there, they had a sign up that said not to leave your room after 10. And it's like, not to leave your room after 10. So, like, that's kind of creepy. Yeah, it just really set me off. Like, it put me right on edge. I couldn't in good confidence have left my suitcase there and then tried to deal with it that night. I just took it with me. But, yeah, there's no problem with the Comfort Inn. So, yeah, I was really happy. Even though it cost me more to have stayed there. It was so much relief. Especially thanks to the receptionists. So, yeah, so it was valuable to have done it. Even though I had the hassle, it was still valuable of time to have done. So I'm really hoping I can get that financing proposal and get my cost to travel to the second course covered. Yeah, so I'll register for that Monday and then put everything through. I have a meeting Monday, so again, I'll bring it up then. But, yeah, no, I got back. Where I figured I stayed up way later, so I slept most of the day. And I woke up and was up for a bit, and I went back to sleep. And it's just because even though I didn't get sick as I expected to feel, I was still exhausted and everything hurt. I don't know how it hurt my hip. I think from all the walking, because I walked like where I couldn't get a cab the first day, and then also that night to go to the grocery store. Like I walked quite a fair bit, even though I took taxis to the between the main locations. But my hip's quite sore, and the muscles all like it's not just the joint. It's the muscle on the leg. It's my leg that I tore my ligaments in the knee, so my gait's not always. I have difficulties with it, but I didn't walk hardly at all compared to like trips when I've gone to like Halifax and stuff, and I'm just so stiff and sore. I blame all the tan, but yeah. So let's recap. Yeah, there's my babies. I was really disappointed in them. Nick's watching me now. I figured, one, like, even Nick does go to bed with me a lot, would come. No one came. They just completely, it was like, oh, you're back. Okay. We want to see your stuff. They got in my suitcase, but other than that, it was like, I've gotten more of a response when I've come back from class than I did from being away. The only one that actually came to see me was Lydia came during the day. Like when I was still laying down. She got on the foot of my bed and curled up in a ball for a moment and just took off. Like she got situated like she was gonna stay with me for a bit, and I thought, oh good, I'll have Lydia. But no. Like I definitely felt a major difference in this traveling, like how it affected my body than it did like when I would travel a lot when I was 19. Like when I was 19, I was out west. Like I took like the 10-hour flights, and all that traveling, like to the airport and stuff, and like even like walking everywhere to get groceries and stuff. Like when I was out west, and even I felt a difference this time than I did when I traveled in 2015 to Halifax. It just, I'm wrung out from it. Like, people that go to conventions, I've talked about having, like, con crud. And that's kind of what I feel like I have. Like, you know, I'm more hoarse. I'm not sick, but it's just wore me down. Like, I didn't go to hang around a convention center. I was in training, but excuse me. I just drank a bottle of Mountain Dew Voltage. I watched the Coronation Street episodes that were from Friday. But, yeah.